One of those questions I get asked a lot is, Flavine, I want to come to Belgium as an international student. Do you think that there are jobs available for me? I want to come and study. Do you think that the jobs that are there can take care of me? So in today's video, I'll be telling you who a working student is, how many hours you can work as an international student or a student generally in Belgium, what to do if your program is so tight in such a way that it doesn't give you any breathing space to work, the type of student jobs available, how you can get student jobs, how to break into the corporate world as a student, and if student jobs in Belgium can actually sustain you in the long run. Welcome back, guys. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm called Flavine. And I'm an international student based here in Belgium, and on my channel I like to give immigration tips like the one you're about to watch now. I like to make lifestyle content where I just show you guys how I am navigating my life as a young girl living in Belgium. So in today's video we are going to be talking about student jobs. You guys know that when it comes to student jobs, I have done everything. From working as a housekeeper, from working in warehouses, from working in factories, to even getting a work from home job. I have done all of it. So this is going to be an interesting video. You don't want to click out. Listen to everything I'm saying, because when you guys watch my videos to the end, there are some questions that you will not bring back to me. So the first question is, who is a working student? A working student is basically a student that is somebody who goes to school and work at the same time. That's the simplest explanation I can give it to you, okay? Google will have so many other explanations that will tell you a lot of other things. But basically, if you are being categorized or put under a working student, then you are just a student who is working, or you're working with the status of a student. You are not a full-time worker. In fact, you're going to school and working. That's the whole point of it, okay? How many hours are you allowed or supposed to work in Belgium as a student? So in a year, you are expected to work 475 hours, nothing more, okay? You can decide to work less, but nothing more. And in this 475 hours, this is what it says, that you have just a very tiny percentage of social contribution to pay, okay? So basically, your tax percentage is like 0.000 something. You just have a little percentage of social contribution to give back to the Belgian government. But if you are not a student, just know that the tax that will be removed from your pay at the end of the month is disastrous. But you don't fall in that category. Basically states that you don't pay a tax as a student, okay? Well, if you're working as a student in Belgium, you don't pay tax. Another thing that somebody may say that, oh, Flavine, my program is too tight. How do you advise me to work? So let's say that you probably go to school back to back. Let's say from Monday to Friday, and you don't have any time, you cannot breathe. First thing first is, it starts with, from the onset, the process of you looking for a program. This is why I always say that before you choose any program, it's not just one thing to have to say that, oh, I have admission in this school. Check that program. Make sure that that program gives you breathing space, because at the end of the day, it's not just coming here to study. For some of us that do not come from very rich backgrounds, okay, you're not very rich, you're not wealthy, your parents are not the ones that have to pay for everything. You need to come here and hustle for yourself. You don't want to take a program that will not allow you breathe, a program that will not allow you walk, okay, because you're going to get into a lot of trouble, because you'll be juggling school and juggling that program. And I know what I am saying. So most at times, it's good to, go for programs that that at least they let you breathe a bit. Maybe you go to school throughout the week, and then weekends you decide to work, okay? So you can look for jobs that you can work during the weekends, or better still, you have just few days in the weeks, and the days that you're not going to school, you decide to work, okay? So that's the only way. Or better still, if you know that your program doesn't let you breathe, okay, make sure that you are somebody who is inclined with maybe working online, okay, in such a way that when you come back from school, maybe you have something, maybe you have a particular skill. You can register yourself on platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, so that you sell your skills. Or maybe you have a YouTube channel like me, something, okay, something that that can do that will be giving you, even if it's €1 or €2 a month. You cannot come and you're not doing anything, except you are from a wealthy background. Your parents are taking care of everything. But I'm talking for the average international students that I know, the majority of us come here and we still have to, you know, do like 50 or in fact, what is 50? 90% of the work we have to pay for everything, okay? So just be careful with the kind of program that you take. The next question is, what type of student jobs are available in Belgium? I used to get this question. Somebody used to ask me, Flavine, is it only cleaning jobs that in Belgium? See, let me just explain something to you guys real quick. You have all types of jobs. You have jobs from cleaning to housekeeping to construction to working in supermarkets to clean to anything, working in offices. Anything whatsoever it is, you have them, okay? You have all sorts of jobs in this Belgium. The only thing that I will say is that the only disadvantage when it comes to us international students, especially when you are not from a country that belongs to any EU member states, or you're not an EEA student or something like that, it's always the language. I think the whole thing starts from the language. For example, I live in the Flemish region. The language that they speak here a lot is Dutch. So imagine me moving to Belgium, living in the Flemish region, and I can't even speak Dutch, you understand? So it was a little bit hard for me to just get corporate jobs. Let me say corporate jobs, like working in an office, you know, working anywhere as a student or an assistant. I can't speak the language. How was I going to communicate with people? How was I going to do? Yeah, it's the communication thing. And then let's say that you probably move to a place like Brussels and you're looking for a student job there, you know, in the corporate field. You cannot speak French because majority of people in Brussels speak French, so you cannot speak French. How do you want to communicate? So that is why a lot of us, when we get here, we go for these other jobs, and there is no shame in labor, my dear. If what you're going to be doing is legal and it's paying your bills, why would you be ashamed to do it? In fact, I do my jobs with my full chest. I am very happy. If you want to call me a cleaner, you want to call me a housekeeper, is it paying my bills at the end of the month? That is what is very, very important. So when you come here, it's okay to, you know, place your expectations low. See, people, you need to start from somewhere to get to somewhere, okay? So I'm just trying to explain to you guys why majority of people, when they come here, either they become housekeepers or maybe they work in factories, they work in warehouses, because at the end of the day, those are the kind of jobs that will accommodate people who cannot really speak the national language. Let me put it that way, okay? Those are the kind of jobs that will quickly accept us first before you start getting into the corporate world or any other thing. So when you come here, first of all, you can try. If you already speak French, it's good. Go to a place like Brussels, look for jobs to work either in supermarkets, anywhere, you know, just normal jobs, anywhere that you want to work. But if you know that you don't know French, you don't know Dutch, the first thing I'll tell you is maybe go for cleaning jobs, sign up with interims, you know, people who deal with cleaning and all of that, working in warehouses. It's perfectly okay. So long as they're paying your money, what's your own problem there? Yeah, so that is how, those are the kind of jobs. But aside from that, if you are already somebody who lives in Belgium, you know the system and everything with the language is not a problem, you can go in for jobs as cashiers. You can be cashiers in supermarkets, you can work in supermarkets, you can, you know, deal with jobs that have to do with you communicating with clients and all of that. You can go and work at KFC, McDonald's, all of those places where you know the language is not a challenge for you. You can be a receptionist, even, you know, anything that you know that the language is not a barrier. If you know that the language is not a barrier, you can go for those kind of jobs, okay? But I could not really go for those kind of jobs as a reception. I don't even know how to speak Dutch fluently. Imagine a client comes and they want to book a room, or they're asking, I can't even respond. So no need for me looking for those kind of jobs, okay? So this is why I'm explaining. It's in Belgium, it's not only all about cleaning. No, it's not only those jobs. We have so many other types of jobs, okay? You just need to know which one goes with you. You look at it and make sure that you fit into it, okay? Now the next one is how to get student jobs. So how do you get these jobs? You can either get jobs via direct employment, which means that the place can actually employ you directly, or better still, you go through human resource companies, okay? We call them interims. These are people who stand in as middlemen between you and companies. So let's say that we have a very big company. I'm just trying. Okay, let's say that probably DHL. Yeah, DHL is a big company. DHL is looking for workers, but they don't have the time to source workers, to look for people to work in their warehouses and all of that. They don't have the time, the resources. In fact, they are so busy with packaging and all of that they don't have the time to source for human resource or human resource services. So what they do is that they go to these human resource companies, which we call interims, and they're like, we need this number of people, we want them to be like this, of this certain age, maybe have a little bit of experience, blah 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 blah. If you get them, send them to us. They sign their contract and boom. So now this these interims now have their websites. They put it on their website. Oh, we need workers for this. Maybe DHL, Hasselt is looking for workers, blah 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 blah. So you now apply with these interims. If this interim selects you, fine, they now send you to go and work with DHL. So now, mind you, DHL is not your employer. The employer is the interim. So DHL does not pay you directly. You get payment from these interim offices, okay, or these interim companies. So I don't know if that little explanation makes sense. So it's either you get direct employment or you get employment via interims. The next question is how to break into the corporate working space as a student. Okay, I can consider myself working corporate because I have different types of jobs. Okay, there's the one that I work from home, which I've already explained to you guys here. So basically what I've realized is that we have some interims that they source out for students for corporate jobs. Actually, like the one I'm working with, they call them Studaro. They are actually looking for students who can work in line with what they are studying in school. So these interims, that they don't source out for manual laborers, manual laborers. We have other interims that they source out for almost everything, corporate jobs, manual laborers, and all of that. No, but these particular interims, they actually look for students who, they only work with students. Actually, they look for students who, how do I put it, who can work, oh my goodness, they look for students to work in jobs that are tailored to what they do in school. So maybe there's a communication job, a communication company that's looking for a communication student. So this interim looks for communication students to send to this communication company, something like that. Okay, so that's how you can get into the corporate world by just applying, looking for interims that are sourcing out students just for corporate jobs, and also just digging into the internet, because when you come here, Google is going to be your friend. Just dig into the internet and you're gonna get there. So I've talked a lot. I'm going to answer the last question at the end of this video. So I've talked a lot about how many hours. So let's get into the number of hours that you can work in a week. Okay, remember I said that in a year you are only allowed to work 475 hours. Now when I say that you are allowed to work 475 hours, it doesn't mean that if you work out of 475 hours you'll be deported back to your country. No, before I used to think that in a week I'm not supposed, in a week you are supposed to work 20 hours a week. Okay, before I used to feel that if I work more than 20 hours a week, I'm dead, I'm gone, I'm in trouble. No, that's not what it means. When they say that you're supposed to work 475 hours in a year, and if you go more than that, know that from 476 hours you start paying the normal tax like every other person in Belgium. The fact that you're limited to 475 hours, they believe that that's the right amount of hours that can make you still go to school and study well without you being distracted and all of that. So the white man believes that 475 hours is just enough for you to work, study, and still concentrate, and you are not distracted by work. Okay, but if you decide that 475 hours is not enough for me, I want to work, and I want to work, mind you, once immediately you work up to 475 hours, anything after that 475 hours, you start paying the normal tax like every other person. Okay, so if you go to a job and they tell you that they are paying you 12 euros a month, they will pay you at 12 euros per hour until everything is okay. But immediately you go out of 475 hours, mind you, it's no longer 12 euro an hour that you'll be getting. It will be showing on your pay slip that it's 212 euros per hour. But after 475 hours, they are going to start deducting the normal tax rate like every other person here in Belgium. So it's either you stick to the 475 hours, or know that after 475 hours, they'll be removing tax like every other person here in Belgium. So the only advantage that you you have as a student is that inside that 475 hours, you're paying little or no social contribution. You're just paying social contribution. You're not even paying tax. You're just paying small tiny social contribution. Okay, it's as small as maybe 0.05%. It's not even up to 1%. So you're paying little social contribution, but immediately you go out of that, my dear, they'll be ripping money from your accounts like every other normal Belgian or Belgian citizen. So yeah, so as a student, you are allowed to work 20 hours per week and 475 hours per year. Okay, and I understand why they put it this way, because the way school is in this Belgium, you will go to school, you will go to school and school will go to you. So I understand perfectly why they put it that way. If you come here, my honest advice is, when you come here in the first year, don't overwork. Don't kill yourself. Just try and clear your subjects as much as possible, because when you start failing too much, and they go now and dig to see that you are failing is because you are working too much, that's when you're going to get into trouble. But if you are working more than your 475 hours and you are still passing your courses, nobody has the time. Nobody cares. After all, you are working for their own people to enjoy. So just make sure that as you're working, you're not neglecting school. It goes hand in hand, because you came here first of all as a student. Before anything, you are a student. And when it comes to interims, one thing I'm going to tell you guys is that I cannot start naming all the interims. We have so many of them. We have Randstad, we have Itsu Jobs, we have so many interims. So one thing you need to do is just go and type interims in Belgium. A very long list will come. Just go to maybe Randstad, click on their website, go to the section where they say student jobs, click and see the different types of student jobs and the locations, and apply to anyone that you know that pertains to you. That is just how you're going. There's so many interims. I cannot start naming them on this video. Okay, the video will be too long. So know that there are so many interims in Belgium that you can visit, and just go and apply and all of that. If you guys want me to do a dedicated video telling you guys how to do a general CV, a CV that can land you any normal job in this Belgium, I can read out my CV for you guys to see how I was taught to arrange my CV, to get student jobs. But aside from that, just go through these interims and apply. And also another good website that I want you guys to always look at when you come to Belgium is Student at Work. This is a good website to keep you updated. It will tell you your number of hours that you've already used in a year. It keeps you updated on your regular work and all of that. It's from there that you read your rights as a student working. You know when you are being cheated at work and when you are not being cheated at work. So Student at Work is a very good website that I'm going to place in my description box. You guys should go ahead and read, because from that website you get to see, you get to track maybe your work hours, how many you download their app and track maybe your work hours, what it entails, everything that I'm saying in this video. If you go to Student at Work, you will get a more detailed explanation, okay, when it comes to working in Belgium as a student, who can work in Belgium as a student, and all that good stuff. And also another thing that I wanted to note is that when you're working with interims, right, this is not direct employment. So when you're working with interims, these people pay you weekly. So let's say that I start working Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, 3 days a week, because 3 days a week is almost approximately 20 hours per week. So you work 3 days a week, they're not going to pay you for this week. So the second week that starts, so if you work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of the second week, you get the amount of the first week. So they pay you weekly according to how you work. So don't think that if you start working, let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the first week, Thursday, Friday, they are going to pay you, because they pay the interims pay every Thursday or Friday. So if we have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, so the amount what you work in week 1 will only be paid in week 2. What you work in week 2 will be paid in week 3. What you work in week 3 will be paid in week 4, in such a way that even if you don't work in week 5, the amount that you worked in week 4 will be paid in week 5. Do you guys get it? And then direct employment is the one that you get paid weekly. For example, my housekeeping job that I work now, I'm being paid monthly because it's direct employment, and direct employment, they pay you monthly. Okay, I did not go through any interim. I just went straight to the hotel and I'm like, I want to work as housekeeping, I have experience, and boom, that was it. So I'm being paid directly by the hotel to my account, and I only get my money every month. Okay, I don't get my amount. So that's the difference with interims. A lot of people like interims because every single week something is entering your account. Yeah, you are able to sort out your needs quickly. But at times too, I prefer the monthly account because it allows me to save. When money is entering your account every month, that's how you're just chopping it up and down. So that's the difference between direct employment and interims. And the obonge, the biggest question of the day: can I sustain myself in Belgium with a student job? My dear, let me put my laptop down and explain this one better. The truth is, and I'm going to say it with my full chest, is no.
What?
Don't be quick to say, Flavine, it's 50-50, okay? I'm going to be very sincere. You guys know that when it comes to me, I like to keep it 100%. I like to not sugarcoat a lot of things. I like to make it real as possible. It's 50-50. It's a yes and it's a no. And it's a no, especially when you just get here, like the first year of you being here. And I'm using myself as an example. If you leave wherever you're coming from, let's say maybe Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, wherever, and you come with your school fees, I bet you'll be fine. It's always the school fees. Imagine my fees is 4,000 euros. People who will attend UHASL are even lucky. Their school fees is 900 euros. If I was like anybody from UHASL, I would be fine. The no part does not relate to you. But I'm just saying, for people whose school fees is really, really expensive. Imagine you come here and I have not started working, and my school is expecting that before September ends. School starts next September, but they're expecting that before September ends, you should have paid your school fees. So I'm just thinking to myself, back then I had not started working, nothing has happened to me. Where was I going to have 3,000 euros to pay my school fees? You understand? It just gave me unnecessary pressure. The first week of school, and in fact the first few months of the first semester, I was working back to back. I didn't have any breathing space. I was stressed because the school fees was just too much. Okay, just too much on me. It was weighing me down. And then I was so lucky that I was living in a family home. So imagine that I had to go get a house, rent, and I would have died. I would have been dead by then. So it's really difficult. So if you can come with money from wherever you're coming from, I would advise you to do it. If you have money saved up somewhere, bring it. Use it for those first months to sort out things like your school fees, your rent, so that when you start working, mind you, when you start working, you'll be so balanced. When you've sorted out things like your school fees and your rent, you are good. The money that you work can actually help you. Let's say that you are working really, really well. Every single week you work at least 250 euros. Okay, 250 euros. Let's say every single week you are sure that your job pays you 250 euros. So in a month, let's say that you're working 1,000 euros. Inside 1,000 euros, no matter how expensive your rent is, maybe you pay rent for 300 euros, there is still going to be an amount for you to use for other things. Okay, so it gets better with time. But when you just get here and you have nothing saved up, nothing, you will hear shaggy. You are going to hear shaggy. And if you think that you're only going to depend on your student job, it's going to be difficult for you. Actually, it's going to be very difficult, especially for people who will now come here. You have family issues. Your family members are looking up to you. My sister is abroad. My brother is abroad. My uncle is abroad. My son is abroad. My daughter is abroad. You have responsibilities hanging on your shoulders. Everybody's looking up to you because you've moved on. In fact, this is going to be a video on its own. Okay, this is going to be a rant on its own, whereby people come abroad and there's so much expectations on them, not knowing the realities that are here. Okay, so Imagine you have all those responsibilities, my dear. Working that 20 hours a week cannot do it for you. That's just the truth. It cannot do. By the time I was saying that you work 1,000 euros a month, by the time you pay rent, like 350 euros per rent, you maybe pay for your bus cut. Like for somebody, if you're already up to let me say 25 years, bus cut is like to 45 euros to 46 euros. Yeah, this year is 46 euros. You pay 46 euros for bus cuts. Let's say for somebody like me that travels to Brussels, because I travel from Hassel to Brussels, which is like 2 hours, you need to pay bus ticket, and which is equivalent to 46 euros. The money is already going. And then you have feeding. Food is not, it's not your local market in Africa where you can just go and pick small. You need to buy food, you need to take care of yourself. Like, you just have a lot of things. By the time you want to finish up, that money has really reduced. So let's say that there's family problem now in Africa, they need to pay. My camera stopped recording, I don't know why. So what I'm just trying to say is that it's going to be very difficult for you. Coming abroad is not the bed of roses. Student jobs, it doesn't guarantee you everything. Yes, you as a person, you'll be fine, you can be fine, comfortable, but if you are aiming for something high, just settling will be a problem. I know that they say that start from somewhere and then go higher, but with somebody like me with dreams and aspirations, let me tell you something, student jobs it cannot do it for me. That's why you see me, I'm always online looking for new opportunities, new things that I can do that can be making me extra cash. People who are fine in this Europe don't only depend on the salary they get. A lot of them have businesses, a lot of them have investments back home, a lot of them are into real estate, something, because see, only a job cannot do. By the time you even finish school and get a normal job, the tax they'll be slashing off from your money can make you cry. So at the end of the day, what I'm always telling people is that I beg you, before you come here, have something else, any handwork, something else that you'll be doing that can, help you out. Because if it's only student jobs and you know that you have, especially for those who have responsibilities back home, my dear, it's gonna be very difficult. But if it's just you alone, and you are comfortable with what you're getting, you don't want you too much, you are okay with small, trust me, you'll be fine, you'll be perfectly okay. But student jobs for me is not just enough. You need to do more, either work more than the 20 hours or work the 20 hours alongside something else. Okay, some people, some students that are here work their 20 hours and they're into all these Bitcoin trading and all of those things. That's good. Some of us are working our 20 hours, but in some weeks we work more than 20 hours. And then we have something like our YouTube channel, which we are holding on to, praying that the channel grows so that we can start earning something, maybe getting brand deals, just other things aside from that. And having dreams of maybe having investments and all of those other things, okay? Because just student jobs here can depress you with the stress of going up and down, hopping from one train, one bus. My dear, it is just too much. So we've come to the end of this video. If you learned something, let me know down in the comment section. At least we've trashed this out today. And also, guys, let me know what you think about this video. If you have any other concerns, any other questions, drop it down in the comment section. I'll be there to respond. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I'm going to see you in my next one. Bye.